Cancer. It's a name for a massive group of diseases. It can start almost anywhere in the body. But if we look closer, it always begins with the same thing: cells that forget how to stop. In a healthy body, cells follow a cycle. They grow, they divide, and when their time is up, they die. The body calls this apoptosis. But sometimes the instructions get damaged. The cells don't die. Instead, they keep dividing, piling up into the lumps we call tumors. We've known about this for a long time. Over 2,000 years ago, a Greek doctor named Hippocrates noticed something strange about these growths. Some tumors seemed to spread outward with creeping legs, grabbing onto healthy tissue like claws. It reminded him of a crab. So he called it karkinos, the Greek word for crab. Today, we know that single crab has evolved into a family of over 200 different diseases. It can be overwhelming. So to make sense of it all, we need a map. In this video, we will classify them into 4 distinct groups based on where in the body they begin. Group 1, the carcinomas. This is the vast majority, making up nearly 90% of all cancer diagnoses. They start in the skin or the tissues that line our internal organs. This is where we find the names you hear most often: lung, breast, colorectal, and prostate cancer. Group 2, the sarcomas. These are much rarer. They start deep in the body's framework, forming in the bones, muscles, fat, and connective tissue. Group 3, the blood cancers, leukemias and lymphomas. Unlike the others, these don't usually form solid tumors. Instead, they circulate through the body, affecting the blood and the immune system. And finally, Group 4, cancers of the central nervous system. These are the tumors that form in the brain and the spinal cord. The glitch is complex, but now that we have our map, the story begins. Let's start with the biggest group. Group 1, the carcinomas. Remember, this is nearly 90% of all cancer cases. So why are they so common? Because they begin in the tissues that cover and line our bodies. The skin, the lining of the lungs, the lining of the digestive tract, the lining of the breast. These are tissues constantly exposed to the outside world, constantly renewing themselves, constantly dividing. And the more cells divide, the more chances there are for mistakes. Within this massive group, 4 cancers stand out. Let's begin with lung cancer. This is the one most famously linked to a single powerful habit: smoking. And while smoking is the biggest risk, it's not the whole story. Lung cancer starts in the spongy tissue of the lungs, more specifically in the cells that line the air passages. When these cells are irritated by smoke, by air pollution, by asbestos, by radon gas, or sometimes simply by bad luck, damage begins to build up. Over time, that damage can cause the cells to grow out of control. And because the lungs are rich in blood vessels, lung cancer has a higher chance of spreading early. Next, breast cancer. This is the most common cancer in women worldwide. Roughly 1 in 8 women will develop it in their lifetime. It can occur in men, but it is about 100 times more common in women. Why? Because breast cancer isn't just about the breast as a shape. It usually begins in the tiny internal structures, the ducts that carry milk, or the lobules that produce it. Women have far more developed glandular breast tissue, and they have higher lifetime exposure to hormones like estrogen and progesterone. These hormones fuel breast cell growth, and more growth means more opportunities for genetic mistakes. Unlike lung cancer, the causes here are more complex, a mix of hormones, age, lifestyle, and genetics. Some people inherit gene mutations like BRCA1 or BRCA2 that significantly increase their risk. Often, the first sign is a lump, which is why screenings like mammograms matter. They're designed to catch changes long before they can be felt. We've covered 2 of the big 4, lung and breast cancer. But 2 remain. Colorectal cancer, a disease that often begins as something completely harmless and only becomes dangerous when nobody is watching. And prostate cancer, one of the most common cancers in men, yet one of the least talked about. Both have stories worth telling properly, and we will. But that's for part 2.